Nolan, I have been very excited to ask you this question. Is now a good time to redeem your I bond? Back in 2022, when we first recorded on this topic, when inflation was through the roof, we were able to buy I bonds with a 9.6% rate of return. Now, though, that rate of return is just over 3%, which has a lot of investors wondering if we should be redeeming them and investing in something else. So let's assume we bought when that rate was 9.6%. Should we be redeeming them now?
Thanks, Erin. And that's a really, really good question. It's something that's on a lot of people's mind and something that we've been helping a lot of our clients with over the past few months. With inflation kind of being in the crosshairs of what the Fed is going after over the past couple years, basically since the economic fallout from COVID. We all got into these back when the Fed didn't care too much about inflation, and inflation was getting up near 10%. You mentioned the 9.6 that we used to get. And now that inflation's back down to 3% or whatever they state that it is, that's what I bonds will pay. If you're comfortable moving that money and placing it elsewhere in different types of bonds or different types of investments, you can still find investments out there that do have pretty good principal protection, but maybe pay a little bit closer to what you were getting with that 9.6 instead of the 3%. So a lot of folks are redeeming now. If you're okay with 3%, you don't need to.
Mm-hmm. I bonds fully mature after 5 years. So, what is the penalty for redeeming them early?
Very good question. And to remind everybody, after you've held on to these bonds for 1 year, you can sell them. And most everybody that bought back at that 9.6%, that's 2 years ago. So you can sell them at this point and you forfeit about 3 months worth of interest when you do forfeit these bonds.
In that case, does the month I sell them matter?
No, it could. It just depends on what the interest rate was set at, what you are currently earning. You could be maybe locked in right now at a higher interest rate than the government's currently giving on I bonds. So maybe you want to keep them for a little bit longer, but everybody's bonds are a little bit different.
Right.
So it could, for most folks, it doesn't matter. It's
Okay.
at this point, that you're splitting cents, and you don't necessarily need to if you're not going to
Mhm.
stress about it.
Okay, so brass tacks now. If I decide to redeem my I bonds, where is the best place to invest that money? Because, of course, these were so attractive because they're essentially a safe investment with a 10% rate of return.
Right. And something near 10% rate of return and being a safe investment, I think is relatively difficult to come by,
Yeah.
you can get different bonuses by putting your money in different investments, but we've really been preferring lately just looking to bank bonds or bank notes, because a lot of these different bonds or a lot of these different notes that are offered by banks or financial institutions, you're maybe taking out for a 12 or 13-month time period anyway. And the upside is close to the 8, 9, 10% range, like maybe you were getting with these I bonds. And the only risk is that the financial institution goes under or something like that. So those bonds have been a nice alternative to it. If you're not maybe comfortable with investing in bonds that are like that, maybe even a CD or money market might pay you at least 1.5% higher than what an I
Mhm.
bond is right now. So
Mhm.
you can find some other options that are maybe safe, but you have to take maybe a little bit of risk if you're hoping to get near 10% at this
Mhm.
point.
Okay. Well, again, I'm really glad we had the chance to talk this through because, again, I think it's a very timely topic. Nolan, if somebody would like to talk to you about redeeming their I bonds or their alternatives, what's the best way to reach you?
So they can call us at 616-301-2581 or go to our website, cornerstone-rp.com, and just ask a question at the bottom of the homepage. There's a contact us box.
Great. Nolan, thank you.
Thanks, Erin.